Hi everyone and welcome back to Rachel's Enchanting Cakes. Now for today's content, we are going to be making this really effective yet very simple cupcake pull-apart wreath. In total, we have used 12 cupcakes. It's very basic piping techniques used in this content, and it does not matter what moulds or cutters you have in your collection. You just need a few just to add a few extra fondant accents. I will be describing how I have done the snow towards the end. However, in previous content, I do actually show you how easy it is to achieve. Everything you need to know step by step as always. And remember what I said. This is excellent if you are a beginner to piping. Happy baking everyone. I really do hope I help you again today, and let's make a start. The first thing I want to do is cover this 12-inch drum. But what I've done, just to give you an idea, is place a 6-inch round base just directly in the centre. So that's where my snowflakes are going to be embossed. And then on the area around the outside is where I will be placing the freshly baked cupcakes. So today I'm going to be using this Elements set. It's the Snowflake Elements by Sweet Stamp. However, just by using a simple snowflake cutter, you could get the same effect. To cover a 12-inch round cake drum, you will need on average 750 grams of fondant. My fondant is 5mm thick, and then I simply take the embossers and push them directly into the soft fondant. Remember, you only want to be filling the centre because all around the outside we're going to be having those freshly baked cupcakes. I find with the embossing sets, once you have pushed them in, if you push them down with a smoother first, and then I simply take them out with some tweezers. Using a shop-bought edible metallic paint, I'm choosing to use blue, but obviously silvers and golds would work, and a relatively fine brush, simply paint each of the snowflakes. You can make your own homemade paint if you want to. This is what we are left with. How simple but striking was that to achieve? We can now start adding our cupcakes. Start by colouring some buttercream using the Lime Pro Gel by Rainbow Dust. For each of the 12 freshly baked cupcakes, you then want to add a layer of this coloured buttercream. This is going to do two things. It's going to protect the cupcake from the air to help avoid it from going dry, but it's also going to hide that brown colour of the cupcake for when you do actually start to pipe the wreath. All you want to do then is take each of the cupcakes like you can see here and add them around the rim of the drum. Once you have got them all in place, just taking some buttercream that you have not coloured, add a very tiny amount underneath each cupcake. This will just help it stick to the drum and prevent any movement. The first nozzle we are using today is the Wilton 4B, a very popular nozzle and very easy to use, and it looks just like this. I have then coloured some of my buttercream with the Leaf Green by Wilton, and it comes out this lovely dark shade of green. Starting on the edge of one of the cupcakes, gently squeeze the piping bag and keep the squeezing consistent. You then want to go around the rim of these cupcakes in a circular motion. Now this is a little bit more difficult for me simply because I'm doing it on camera. You will find it an awful lot more easy, and I do also need to keep all of this in focus. I then simply go around the inner section of these cupcakes with the 4B nozzle, keeping the pressure consistent. I did run out of buttercream just there, so then I just refilled the bag and I continued. If you wanted to, you could do this effect on all of the cupcakes, maybe if you only have the 4B nozzle in your collection. Or you could also do it on the outer edge of the cupcakes. It does not have to be on the inner edge. Keep on making sure there's plenty of pressure on the piping bag as you do run out of buttercream. And remember, you'll always have more control when the piping bag is half full. So again, the 4B nozzle, leaf green, a gentle circular motion all around the inside, keeping the pressure consistent. This is what you will have achieved so far. The next piping nozzle we are using is the Wilton 2D, another popular one that you will have in your collection most likely, and it looks just like this. I have started by filling the rim of the piping bag with the lime green, the one that we actually covered the cupcakes with right at the beginning. I am then adding a darker leaf green, which we have just used with the 4B, directly to the centre. By doing this, it will give us a two-toned rosette. Remember, you want your piping bag roughly half full to have full control. I decide to pipe one of these in the centre of each cupcake, just going over where the 4B has been slightly. You want to start by squeezing in the middle and then just go round in a circular motion until flicking away. I do this for each of the cupcakes. I'm going to speed this up for you. There is a slight two-toned effect. You want the lime on the outside rather than in the centre, simply because you are piping directly next to the darker green, which is the 4B, and the lime will then be on the outside rather than in the middle. How easy has this been to pipe so far? I'm now going to show you the final tip used and then some of these sets that I have used in order to create those fondant accents. I'm now using tip number 32. It looks just like this. Now it's very similar to the 4B. It's just smaller, so it's perfect for filling in all of those little gaps. So this is tip number 32, but we have moved back to the leaf green colour just for contrast. I gently squeeze the piping bag and then pull away. So I've used 3 blobs, let's call them, where the rose is, and where the cupcakes actually meet, 1 blob there. Don't worry about the exposed part of the cupcake, as I'm going to be moving on to a different colour. We're going to be moving back to the lime green and then filling in those sections in a moment. So for each of the cupcakes, you can do this really randomly if you want. And if you do not want to use another colour, you don't have to. You can stick with this one and just cover the rest of the actual cupcake wreath. So continuing with the 32 nozzle, I then fill in those extra gaps that I have all around my cupcake wreath using the lovely lime green. So this is what you will have now achieved, but how stunning does that look? And we haven't even added anything to it yet. So from seeing it like this without the edible snow and without all the fondant accents, you can easily understand how you would get away with just adding a few different coloured edible pearls. That way you can keep the costs down because you're not going to be taking time making the fondant accents. I'm going to show you how to do that now and also explain to you how easy it is to make that stunning edible snow. So the first mould I'm using is the new Highland Cow mould by Karen Davis. Now then, with this particular mould there are some mistletoe on there, but I absolutely love the bows that come on there also. Start by adding a small amount of icing sugar and then just tip out any excess. I am not using modelling paste for any of this, I am using fondant. Simply take a fondant of your choice. Obviously I'm using red because this is a Christmas wreath, and then you want to take your time pushing this directly into the mould. Now red can sometimes be a little bit more tricky to work with, depending on what brand you are using. This is just because of the amount of colouring that is required to get it red in the first place. It can be a little bit more sticky. if you do have any issues, if you just place the mould in the fridge for a few minutes, you will find that the bow will come away an awful lot more easier. However, this particular mould is lovely and deep, and I haven't had any issues with any fondant, no matter what brand I am using. As long as you've used enough icing sugar, they come away beautifully. Just look at how simple that was to achieve. The final mould that I'm using today is the Woodland Animals mould, again by Karen Davis. Now, in this particular mould, I mean, I could have gone crazy and added all those animals to the wreath as well and made them all Christmassy. But there is a few acorns, and I thought, they would be perfect on a wreath. It will make it very quick and simple. And then if we paint them gold afterwards, which I'm going to show you how to do, it just adds that perfect finishing touch. Again, just using some fondant, not modelling paste. This time though, you want a dark colour. You want it anyway if you do have this mould and you are doing an acorn. But whenever you want to paint something gold, the darker the colour, the more the gold actually comes through. So you want the fondant to be a nice dark brown. I simply fill both of these up and then just release them from the mould like we did with the bow. Just remember, you can use any equipment that you have in your collection. Now for the bow, I'm using this Outboss Stamp and Cut set by Sweet Stamp. They have a variety of different styles available. It doesn't matter which one you have in your collection, they all work the same. So I started by rolling out some red fondant. I have placed a dusting of icing sugar on top before adding the Outboss. By applying some pressure with my rolling pin, you then want to roll directly over the top of the Outboss and then gently peel this away. This will leave your bow with a slightly raised section, which you can see more now I've turned the light off. You then want to take the cutter, place it directly over the top and just simply trim away any excess fondant. You then want to leave this fondant to dry a little, and we are going to be adding some gold when we also add the gold to the acorn. Very, very, very simple to achieve, but that's another fondant accent now ready for your cupcake wreath. Again, for the snowflakes, you can use anything you have in your collection. I'm using my simple click sticks cutter, so I've rolled out a thin layer of fondant, placed the cutter directly over the top, flipped it upside down, then you just want to rub your finger over each snowflake to make sure they're all cut out correctly. And then you gently push them down and it will leave an impression on each of the individual snowflakes. If you then mix a completely edible luster dust with some alcohol, you can paint each of the acorns this lovely gold metallic colour, and it just makes all of the difference. I then repeat this process for those embossed elements on the bow. I start by applying my edible bow. Now I have had my wreath in the fridge. This is just to help protect the buttercream from damage. So you may want to leave it out of the fridge for 5 to 10 minutes just to allow that buttercream to go a little softer so that these stick an awful lot easier. You then want to take each individual fondant accent. So we have the acorn, a bow. I do add some silver pearls as well. Mine are actually chocolate pearls, so they have a centre of chocolate with the silver metallic look on the outside. We have snowflakes, and basically all of those fondant accents that you have made, you have stored to one side. You want to now apply this directly to your wreath. Take your time, get it all nice and neat and even, and I will show you what it will look like when it is done. We are then going to go through the process of the edible snow. Very, very simple to achieve, but it adds that perfect finishing touch. This is what it will look like when you have added all of the accents before applying any edible snow. What do we use for the edible snow? All you need is some wafer paper. You want to blend some wafer paper and it will give you the perfect edible snow. Allow the buttercream to go slightly soft, and just as you can see me do here, we are then able to sprinkle the snow directly all over our beautiful, stunning, pull apart cupcake wreath that is perfect, believe it or not, for a beginner. How stunning does that look? A great centerpiece, but also very easy to make and quick if you do sell to customers. Happy baking, everyone. I really do hope I've helped you again today, and I'll be back soon with an awful lot more new, completely free content.